Hi, I'm Sam, your resident fantasy reader.
And I'm Morgan, your romance reader, and we welcome you to Just One More Page,
where it's never just one more page. Okay, I got a story to tell you.
I love how we both start talking at the same time. Okay, you say your thing, I'll say my thing.
Okay, so this week at work has been weird because our census is super low. And so Tuesday, I get a text message from my charge nurse, and she goes, "Do you want to get put on call?" Which basically means you're like put on standby.
Yeah.
I was like, "Sure, I'll go on call. I don't care. I'm gonna go back home and take a nap because Clay is at my mother-in-law's house. I can go back home and fall back asleep." It was amazing. I didn't have to go to until 11 because they called me in anyway. Long story short, I end up getting I get there and they end up handing me a patient, and I get a phone call from the nurse who's about to bring him up. And she goes, "Hey, I'm bringing this person up. Their blood pressure is basically dead over dead. I have a little Jesus in my pocket." I was like, "Okay, cool." Now I think so. Little Jesus is usually a Neo stick. You don't need to know what a Neo stick is.
Yeah.
You need to know that it's a Neo stick and that it's just a form of medication that helps keep their blood pressure up long enough to get them to the room. So I was like, "Cool." So I'm getting this patient into the bed and everything. And she goes, "I just put the little Jesus in your pocket." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I'm tapping my pocket. I'm looking for a syringe, like any kind of, I'm like, "What the frig? Where is this syringe?" So I'm like, whatever. I'm like, it must be in my bottom pocket where like I keep the phone. I will find it later. It's not a big deal. Because usually if it's
Did she actually give you like a little Jesus?
It was a little Jesus.
Oh.
It was an actual itty bitty little Jesus. So I had little Jesus all day, brought him home, put him on my bedside table, didn't think nothing of it. Went to work the next day. That was a whatever day. Everyone was wondering where little Jesus was because I didn't bring him back. And they were like, "You need to bring little Jesus back." And I was like, "Okay." So I brought little Jesus back the Wednesday to work. And I'm so glad I did because my patient decided to crash 5 minutes within my shift. So that was fun. Jesus was on my side that day. I was like,
Jesus was definitely on your side.
But they have these little tiny, like, I don't even know, they feel like erasers almost, but these little tiny, like, rubber little Jesuses, and they've just been, like, hopping around the units. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows where these Jesuses are coming from. They just are there. And people just, like, when they feel like someone needs it or, like, their patient isn't doing well, someone will, like, be like, "Hey, I have a Jesus," and throw them in their pockets to hopefully give you a little good juju. So I have a little Jesus that I can give to somebody when they're having a bad day. So now apparently I have to bring it to work every freaking day, but whatever.
I love that.
So yeah, we have little Jesus that hops in. There's like 15 or 20 of them that are hopping around the hospital right now.
Meanwhile, all I get is Jesus pamphlets at work. What's the worst one you can get is the one where they give you cash and you're like, "Oh, they're giving me like a cash tip."
Oh, I've seen those.
You open it up and it's like Jesus. I'm like, Jesus does not pay my bills.
Okay? For real.
I need to buy books with that tip money. Oh my goodness. Well, my thing I was going to tell you wasn't, I mean, it's not as exciting as finding a little Jesus in your pocket. Hey, I forgot to mention last week was National Indie Book Day, I guess, Bookseller Day, and also like support your local library day.
Yes.
And everyone was like, support your indie library or your indie bookstore. And I want to tell you right now, I did everything I could to not go to the bookstore that day because I was like, I'm on a book ban. It's going to be my birthday soon. I have $120 in reward points. I don't need to go to the bookstore. And don't ask me how long it took me to get those reward points because the answer is not very long. And yes, I have an issue buying books. Okay,
it's okay.
It's okay. It's
okay.
It'll be fine. It will be fine. Oh my goodness. I feel like there was something else I was going to mention to you that I was like, I got to mention to Sam this. Because last week when we recorded our podcast episode, we were like, both like, yeah, let's just get into the book.
Yeah.
Like, I have no energy for this. Let's just go in.
Listen, we were both tired. It's fine.
Exactly. I was just like,
it happens.
You know what? Let's just go.
Okay. Let's just talk about this.
Let's just get into it. Yeah, but then after I was editing the episode, I was like, damn it, I should have asked Sam about this. And then I completely forgot. I was like, I'm going to ask her about Easter. And then I completely forgot. And yeah, and now it's a new month. It's May. I think when this goes up, it will be May the 4th, which fun
May
fact.
the 4th be with you.
Yep, my friend who I love truly, who has given me gray hair the past couple of months, is getting married May the 4th, and they are having a Star Wars themed wedding. Where it's
It's
not like,
amazing.
well, I will say it's not very like 100% Star Wars, because she wanted like little hints of Star Wars, but not like a kid's
Yeah,
birthday
like
party.
not a whole theme, but
Yeah, yeah.
like touches.
Exactly. And then me and my friend, we just got back today. We went and got our nails done for her wedding. And let me just say, Sam, I was physically and mentally abused by my nail person. I don't know.
Oh lordy.
Listen, let me just say this right now, okay? So I wanted to get my toenails done too. I don't really like getting my nails done at the nail salon because I feel like whenever I go there, they judge me, and I have anxiety high, so I don't really want to go. But I was like, I want to do it for your wedding. So we went, and they were like, okay, sit in this chair. We're gonna do your is your petty your like your toenails, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, pedicure,
Your
yeah.
your pedicure first. They turned on like a massage chair, and I was about to get yeeted off the chair because I'm telling you, I was vibrating so hard that I kept sliding off the chair into the water.
Oh
And
no.
and like my friend looked over at me and she said that I was just visibly shaking like I was having a seizure. And I couldn't tell this person, hey, can you please turn this down? Because I didn't want to inconvenience her. So I'm over here as she's like cutting my like cuticles, and I'm like shaking, and I'm like, please, please don't cut me. And then she did the scrub at the end, Sam. She did the scrub at the end where she's gonna like scrub your feet and scrub your legs, right?
Right.
Please tell me why she made direct eye contact with me as she's scrubbing my leg and feet, looking straight into my eyes. And then when I kind of looked away, kind of awkward, she goes, relax.
No, no.
No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I literally was like, someone take me home, please. Someone take me home, please.
Stranger danger.
But yeah, besides that, she scolded me a lot because she said my cuticles were too long on one side. And I'm like, ma'am, that's because I'm right handed and I can't get my right hand side cut very well. And then the nail art I wanted, they couldn't do, even though it was on their website. Fun fact. But that was my story for the day. And I'm done yapping. I'm sorry.
There
I
you
just
go.
drank a whole cup of
You're
coffee.
good. I just finished a whole energy drink.
Ooh, which one?
The grape Celsius's.
Have you tried the ones that have really beautiful cans? It's like it starts with an A. It's like Alea? Is the one?
Oh, the Alani's?
Yes,
I
Alani.
don't like Alani has like a weird aftertaste.
Does it really?
Yeah, to me it does. It has a weird aftertaste. I mean,
I've
I've tried the Alani's. I'm not a big fan of them.
I've wanted to, like, I don't do energy drinks, but
Yeah.
their marketing and their cans are very
They are very cute, but I'm telling you right now, like I prefer Celsius. I feel like they have the better flavors, and I don't know, Alani has like really bad reviews of like people having like weird like jittery side effects.
oh.
Like obviously you're gonna have jitters if you're not a big caffeine drinker, but like Alani doesn't have great reviews as to like side effects of drinking their caffeine.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
prefer Celsius.
never mind. I am honestly just a coffee drinker, so I'll just stick to coffee, the
There you go.
caffeine. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into the story. I'm sorry for yapping so much and tell you all my stuff today. Listen,
It's
I'm
fine.
high energy today,
It's fine.
but let's talk about the novel that we are going to be discussing today. So, we read a debut novel from Annie McQuaid called Crash Landing. This novel follows Piper Adams, who is on her way to her best friend's destination wedding. Or so she thought, because her flight is canceled due to a bad storm. Thankfully, or not so much thankfully, if you think about it, her ex-boyfriend, and who also beyond hurt her last time she saw him, is offering her a ride on a private plane. After all, what can go wrong? Well, obviously, the novel's called Crash Landing, so they crash. They crash on the island, and well, because of the fact that they crash on the island, not only does Piper have to find a way to trust Wyatt again, but they need to figure out a way to work together to survive long enough to be rescued. So, Can I just give you my non-spoiler first, Sam? My review of this book real fast.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. First off, I was really excited to read this novel because I love the idea of being stuck on an island. Like there was this TV show that I remember I watched at your house all the time. It was like Flight 29 Down or something like that, or Flight something down.
Yeah,
And
I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that show.
With Johnny
And
Picard, who was like
yes,
30 years older than everybody, but he looks like he was like 12. Yeah.
and I had the biggest crush on him. I was like,
I had the biggest crush on him
hello.
too. It's fine.
Actually, do you know that Chris Pine was it Chris Pine? No, it was the guy who was in Twister.
It's a twister. I have no idea.
Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell? That's his name? I don't know. He was in that show, I guess, for some reason. I think he was. Maybe wrong person. But anyways, I was so excited to read this book because I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be Crash on Island. It's gonna be like Blue Lagoon. I'm so excited. No. Listen, I was so excited to get this book, and we actually didn't read this book as a new release. It came out last week, so I actually got this book as an ebook because I'm gonna get it as an ebook. I'm gonna have some more time to read it, physically read this book instead of just getting the audiobook. And I got 55% of the way done with this book, and I had to get the audiobook because there was no way that I was going to finish it in time if I had to physically read this book because I kept falling asleep and I could not get into it whatsoever. I think that one of my biggest issues with this book is the fact that I feel like everything happens so easily. I get it that this is like a romance novel, it's not a thriller, but I wanted more struggle, okay? I wanted them to like, I don't know, have more fighting. I wanted there to be some like animals, which by the way, why was there no animals on this goddamn island? And I wanted more fight. Because like, listen, the biggest thing is that they crash on the island and they're like, it's okay. He's in the military. He knows how to do everything. And then whenever there's injuries, it's like, she's okay. She's a nurse. Actually, she's a really bad nurse. So she's not even practically a nurse because she doesn't do any nursing things.
Doctor. She's going to medical school, man.
Oh, no, she's not.
Yes, she is.
Then how? She literally did not do anything. She's like, he was like, oh, listen, I can't wait to get into this book because I almost just spoiled something. But I'm just gonna say right now, I don't want to be too negative about this book because of the fact that this is the writer's first published novel, and writing a novel is hard. I'm doing it right now. It's difficult, and if this writer is listening to this podcast episode, which I am so sorry if you are or not, if you are, I will say that the romance in this book was okay. Like I felt like, no, I take it back. The romance in the past was good. If the writer wrote a novel and it was just basically the story of Piper and Wyatt when they were younger, I would have loved it. I felt like it was complex. It talked a lot about like forbidden love, and I would have ate it up. But due to the flashbacks and due to the present, I felt very like disconnected from both sides of from their future self and their past self. And I felt like in some ways adding those flashbacks kind of took away from the present story, and it just wasn't good. Like I wanted something different. I want something that made me giggle. I want to make me something that would kick my feet and scream, but I was not a huge fan of it. And I'll be honest with you, I rated it 2.5 to 3 stars. What do you think, Sam?
Same.
Ooh,
for the most part. Yeah, so okay,
really?
so here's the thing about it. So I rated it 3 stars, and that was being nice. And a lot of the feelings that you have, I have too. And I get that this is a romance book. I do.
Yeah.
But, and I'm gonna spoil this one little detail because I don't give a flying to whatever about it. She found a radio. Somehow has radio skills, which is great. I love it.
I'm telling you,
love that for her.
So easy in this book.
She walks down the beach, turns the radio on, and goes, "Hello, we're stranded on an island." And they go, "Hello, we will find you." And I was like, well, now there's no stakes.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is a spoiler. You're gonna find out in the first 30 seconds of the book. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
I'm also the same way too. It's like I feel like there was no like fight. Like
no,
she hated him. She hates him, but the hate really didn't feel like it went that deep. Honestly, we really need to just go into the spoiler section. But friggin'. And I'm the same way with like the past, like because I know a lot of times these books, because there's only 2 characters on one island, like there's not enough support to, I mean, you'd have to be a really, really good writer to only write with two characters. So obviously you want to go back and forth, because then it gives like a little bit of a bigger cast for the book. It gives you more like to work with, because otherwise this book would be like 150 pages and we'd be done. But it just, like you said, it just felt, the past and the present felt very disconnected. And so
Yeah.
that's what I got for you.
Yeah.
3 stars, honest to God. I mean, they had
Yeah.
the best moments of this book were the end, where they really were like, the best moments of this book happened in the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
Truthfully.
Yeah, and that's not good. That's
And
not
no, it's not. And
that's
it
not
took a long
good.
time to get to the end.
Okay, but was the writing weird? Because like I feel like
Yeah,
reading it
it was
as
a
an
little weird.
ebook, I was so bored. And I
Yeah,
don't
even
know.
listening to it as an audiobook, because I just did it automatically off the bat as an audiobook,
Yeah.
it was very odd. I didn't like, I don't know. It's a debut novel. This author has a lot that she's able to work with.
Yeah.
It's decent for a debut novel. Um, take that as it is. Hopefully, as she continues to write, her writing will improve. But I just want to talk to her editor, because legitimately, like, the editor could have been like, "Where's the stakes? They're on an island. Like, give a little struggle, man."
Yeah, exactly.
Because the
Give
one
them
struggle they had, the one, like, actually there was two real struggles they had. Um, really were like true struggles.
but
So I mean,
even then though, Sam, you got to think about it. Things happen way too easy for them. Like,
oh, they happen so
oh,
easily. She was
like
like, "I have this fear." No, I don't. He has this fear. No, he
no, he
doesn't.
doesn't. Mm,
Oh, don't have this skill. I have this skill. I'm like, y'all didn't need to. Y'all had no like chance to like really have a skill, have a struggle, figure things
exactly.
out, and then have a moment of like, yes, we did it.
Exactly. It's just frustrating because I want my characters to struggle, because through struggle you can find development, and you can find how like much a character can break and come back from it. But yeah, it's frustrating. So let's go into our spoiler section of this podcast. If you have yet to read Crash Landing and you don't want to be spoiled, then go check out last week's episode in which we read Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry, which it was okay. Go
It was
watch that.
okay.
Okay,
You know,
it was
it was
okay.
okay.
Go listen to that episode and then come back and listen to this one too. Why not? Anyways, if you've already read Crash Landing, or if you haven't, you don't care to be spoiled, then let's take a nosedive into this book. Get it? Nosedive? Actually, was that insensitive? Should I have not said that? Oops.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry. My bad. Anyways, this is just a book, okay? Don't get mad at me. Listen, Sam, let's talk
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
Can I just please get real close to this? Please tell me how they're like, we have no food, but there's a papaya right there. Oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, look at, there's the cooler full. Listen, what did they do? Like, what did they do?
They had
We
sex
could,
on the beach.
yeah, that's basically all they did. I mean, honestly, I get it, but like,
Well,
I,
okay, and so like every survival book in the world always has someone getting a really bad cut and going into like full septic shock. And
yes,
like one moment of like a really bad storm comes through, which clearly did not like it didn't even like destroy their shelter or nothing. They were just like,
yeah,
"Oh my gosh, it's a rainstorm." But like rainstorms on islands are usually pretty nasty and windy,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
shit's flying around. You have no place to protect yourself. Like there was,
yeah.
and I don't know. And then it was like the fish were just jumping out of the water. I can't fish, dude. Grab them with your hands. Number one. And number two, you were trying to hook them with a bra underwire, which if there are any guys listening, the bra underwire is not sharp. He didn't even
No,
sharpen it.
no.
It's just like curved. And yes, we say it's stabbing us in the boob, but honestly, it's
I mean,
not
it's a
a true.
heartbeat.
It's not a true
Yeah,
stabbing. Like it's blunt. It's very much rounded. So you ain't gonna catch nothing like that. Number one. And he's in the military, so could he not figure out how to catch fish? And then she's in medical school, and like I don't know. I just and then the whole radio thing. They just ran down the island and they were like, "Hello," and they're like, "Hello, we are going to find you." Blah 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 blah. I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." I was like, "This is terrible." And then they're like, "Yeah, we have bottles of water and whatever else they had." And then yeah, they found the papaya tree. coconuts, was there a coconut anywhere? Oh, and these berries, the birds are eating the berries, so they must not be poisonous. I'm like, Miss
Exactly.
Ma'am,
I mean,
animals can eat certain foods that you cannot eat.
exactly.
But he's like, that makes perfect sense.
Perfect
No, it
sense.
fucking does not. Number one.
It makes me wonder if the writer did any research. And
Right?
it was like, I think this will work, whatever. It's fine. Truth of the matter, let's be honest with you. I don't think they would have survived a real island. I think they would
They
have
would
died within the first
not.
day. And listen, I love the fact that there are scenes where like they find their suitcase and they find the cooler full of stuff, but it would have been so much more enjoyable if there was a minute or time where there was just them struggling to survive. Maybe Wyatt can't start a fire and they fight and there's tension and finally they start it. Like you could have played so much on them being trapped on an island. And then the whole thing of her finding um the radio, like them having the radio and calling Rosie, who was like the pilot person or the person who's in charge of saving them. They got in contact with Rosie so fast. At least according like how I feel. And
Right.
and
And
also,
like,
like, why were they like, "Okay, we'll find you in a minute." Like, what?
well, and that's the other thing too is okay, so their plane gets delayed. Their original plane gets delayed to go down to this wedding. And they have to build a flight plan. So the flight plan tells you is the exact path they're going to follow to get from point A to point B.
Mhm.
Why did it take them so long to find them? Number one, their plane is sitting in the middle of the beach, like the half the plane. And number two, you could have just followed the flight path and kind of figured out where the heck they were. And like, ain't nobody like realizing the plane that was supposed to land like 3 hours ago is not there. And like, oh, okay, we'll come find you. Like, but how are you gonna come find them? Like, are you following the flight plan? Like I really feel like if they were able to get in contact with Rosie that quickly and that easily, they
Yes.
weren't that far off from
Yes.
civilization because the
Yes.
radio connected too quickly. And if they were that close to civilization to where the radio could have connected that easily, they could have just followed the flight plan and found them so much faster.
Yes.
Or have already been looking for them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like there's a lot of plot holes with this book, and I get it. It's a romance novel that there is supposed to be a lack of realism. I mean, because no one really gets a rich CEO man chasing after a poor lonely woman. I mean, I maybe that could happen to me. I mean, I don't know, but the point is that romance isn't real. Obviously, most books aren't real, but the thing is that make it a little bit more realistic. Make it more because I feel like if you had it, not even the radio. I mean, take out the whole Rosie thing. If you just have it where there's a plane and they try shooting the flare and it doesn't work, and then she does it again, like that'd be great. But I just feel like the fact that she was already talking to Rosie, it's like why couldn't you just find them right away? Do you think that the pacing of this novel was good with the separate plot point, like the separate, like the past and the future, or do you wish that it was just the future self like I do?
One of two things. Number one, if she was gonna go back and forth, I don't know. I feel like they should have just condensed. Like I get what she was trying to show. I get that she was trying to show them growing up together and their love of books and how well they're connected and blah 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 blah. I just wish that we had sped it up to their senior year. That's the first time she met him, and kind of play through the whole senior year of like them falling in love or whatever, and then
Yeah.
eventually him breaking her heart. Uh, I also wish too that some of the storyline got a little bit reversed in us finding out.
Her parents didn't want him.
Yeah, why her
Yeah.
parents didn't want Wyatt to be with her, but like have it be us leading up to that fight and us feeling just as jilted as she did, then for Wyatt to explain post, like while they're on the island, what that fight was actually about, or her to just like, yeah, that's what I want to go with, like us also kind of following and not fully understanding that whole argument and her having her heart broken and whatnot, and then Wyatt kind of explaining later why that fight happened
Yeah. I don't know.
versus him telling her and then us still following the storyline all the way up to that point, because I felt like at that point it was moot. There was no reason for that scene to even play out.
I agree. I completely agree. It took away from that, like, um, that building
Yeah.
of emotions. It
Like,
was definitely
the tension, we need the tension, we need the, like, the betrayal, because I mean, clearly they really loved each other, and they were super connected, and they had a lot in common, and it was a really cute high school romance, and he was getting ready to go off to the military, and she was gonna start med school and all the things, and it was like, "Oh my gosh, they're so cute," and then all of a sudden, he just, like, breaks her heart into a million pieces. I would have rather watched her heart break and then him explain in the present day what happened,
yeah.
versus him explaining and then us watching her heart break, because then I was like, "Well, I already know what's happening."
Yeah, exactly, and it takes away from like, it's like the whole showing and telling, or
Yes.
and it's like we don't like, we already heard about it, and now we have to relive it. I don't know, I agree with you, it should be kinda switched around a little bit more. I did find the like, also, I felt like starting the novel with her boyfriend, or I don't know, hookup, tab,
Yeah.
I was a little bit
Situationship.
yeah, it was a little, I wasn't, like, the hugest fan of it. I felt kinda annoyed the fact that she not being annoyed, but I felt very kinda confused being like, "Wait, why are you with this person?" I get it, it's because her parents kinda pushed her to it, and that she kinda grew on the island to know that that's not what she wanted, that she wanted him, and so I really like that kinda aspect of her having that character development of her finding herself through her parents. Although, I will say is I still don't understand why they had to break up as kids. Like,
So,
I find it stupid.
I mean, I get and I appreciate Wyatt, like, kind of pushing her towards school, because her parents said that, had told him apparently that if they continued dating, they would withhold Piper's tuition for school. But
Yeah.
she didn't wanna go to that school anyway, so, I mean, she probably would've been like, "Okay, bye, like, I'll go to a community college, whatever."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I feel like Wyatt's situation of recognizing that, like, he's not having the same opportunities that Piper's being given because his mom was an alcoholic and didn't really take care of him,
Yeah.
that for him, it was more of a high stakes than Piper, because Piper's kinda lived this, like, very privileged life. And so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna be the reason why her whole life's ruined because her parents don't like me, like, I'm gonna separate myself." I get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So I can understand that piece. What I don't understand is the later on down the line when Piper is trying to tell her parents that, like, she doesn't wanna be with, what is the name, Tad or whatever?
Yeah.
Chad, Tad,
I
whatever.
thought his name was Tab.
Tab, yeah, Tad, Ted, oh, whatever, him. So her mom, like, forces this dinner upon her, and she's like, "I don't wanna be with him," and she's like, she's just kidding, don't listen to Piper, she's just been stranded on an island for a week, and she doesn't know what she's saying." It's like,
Yeah.
"No, mom, like,
No, yeah.
I know what I'm saying," and, like, even he was, like, trying to, like, get out of the conversation and slunch it down because
Yeah.
he knew it was the truth too, that they were just kinda together because they made sense on paper, but I don't know, her mom's a little much.
Her mom was a lot, and, I wish there I don't know. This whole book, Sam, I wasn't a fan of.
It
It
was a
wasn't
mess.
fun. It was a
It was a
mess,
mess.
and I wanted, like, a Blue Lagoon book, okay? I wanted steamy romance and monkeys stealing shit, and I didn't get that, okay? All I got was her being like, "I'm hungry. Ooh, look, I found a cooler full of cheese." By the way, I would not eat that cheese if it's been in a cooler for
I know,
days.
how they
Like,
didn't get sick, I'm like, Jesus
exactly.
Christ.
Or, like, how she was like, "Oh, I hate my clothes. I wear my clothes every single day. Oh, look, there's my suitcase." It just felt very much of like, you are getting everything you wish for. You are very lucky, but, like, I wanted more growth through hardship, and I did not get that. I
Yes.
don't have anything else to add, do you?
I don't have anything else to add, but holy crap, this book needed to be plotted out better.
Yeah, and listen, it's a debut novel for this writer, and things will obviously get better. And I'm sure if I ever finish my novel, that my first novel will be very rough too. Oh, hopefully not, because I'm spending a lot of time plotting. But like, the thing is like, just because we didn't like the book doesn't mean you might not like the. Just well, wait, just
It
because
just wasn't for us.
we don't like the book doesn't mean that you're not going to like it, okay?
Yeah.
It's not for us. We just did not enjoy it. Maybe you'll love it, maybe you'll hate it. Why not read it if you haven't? If you are listening to this and you haven't read the book, you're a freak. Just go read the book and then re-listen to our episode so we can get more numbers up. Anyways, so next week we're going to be reading a book from Jasmine Wigham called Cradle of Secrets. Now, this book follows Jem, who has lied and cheated his way out of America and into the most fashionable circles of Victorian London elite. He has almost everything he has ever wanted: a beautiful, if gullible, tycoon's daughter on his arm, and a patron who's willing to fund his lavish lifestyle. But none of it delivers the high he has always thought it would. So a mysterious woman called Felicia appears at a ball and asks him to demonstrate his legendary gunslinger skills. He can't resist because, of course, he's a man. But Jem is about to realize that the problem with inventing yourself an elaborate, adventurous background is it doesn't always hold up very long when you're confronted with real monsters risen from the grave. Narrow, Escaping with his life, Jem discovers Felicia. Oh my god. Escaping with his life, Jem discovers Felicity isn't all that she appears either. He tries to return to normality, but when tragedy strikes, he is forced to seek her out at her home, Grimwood Manor, where he finds her surrounded by a crew of friends. None of them seem exactly human. Swept in a world of witches, werewolves, and other creatures that ought to not exist, Jem struggles to keep his dark past buried. But with a string of supernatural murders rocks the human world, he must confront his fears and join forces with his new friends to figure out who's creating monsters out of men. Dun dun dun. Anyways, if you guys like this episode and would like to support us, which please do, you can rate us on Spotify or rate us anywhere else you can find a little button to rate us. Like any thumbs up, please press it. Or any stars, please press the stars multiple times. So just don't do it once because that would mean 1 star. Do multiple times, okay, please. And if you guys want to check out our YouTube channel, we do have that, just more page, and Sam will tell you about the rest of all our socials. Go ahead, Sam.
So if you think we're absolutely hilarious, which fun fact, my friends, we do have a TikTok. It is Just More Page Podcast. For all the pictures, videos, stories, anything else we decide to post, we are Just More Page Official on TikTok, on Instagram and Threads, and then we are also Just More Page Podcast on Tome and Blue Sky. So lots of places to come follow us. Pick your favorite. Come follow us. Come slide into our DMs. We love talking to you all. We hope you have a fabulous Sunday, and we will all talk to you next week.
Yeah. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.